Beers and bets. Beers and bets. Beers and bets. Beers and bets. Beers and bets.
Welcome back.
Gotcha now. Gotcha.
We are here on a glorious
20-foot
day.
lunker. We got a lunker on board.
Oh, you got one? You hear about that fisherman that was cheating?
I did hear
Putting
about
fucking
that.
weights in the fish and just winning all sorts of tournaments.
That'd be Brad, man. That'd be Brad's fish,
They said,
dude.
I haven't kept up to date with the story, but they were saying he might go to jail actually because he scammed like these tournaments in all these different states to the point where he won so much money cheating. It might be like a federal court thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. Cheating in fishing tournaments.
Just loading up dead fish with extra
and then
weight.
End up jail.
Dude, all the pissed off fishermen when like he wins a competition at the time though.
It's no good, some bitch.
And they're like, that ain't even good fishing in that cove. Like getting mad at him.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
They got their like what is legal, like a huge catch.
He ain't even using the right lures.
And this guy,
You ain't fishing at the right depth.
This
champ.
dude comes in with a giant fucking, like the weight, it all looks the same, but they're like, oh no, that's 4 pounds heavier though.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah,
She's
that ain't a 12-pound fish. That ain't a 12-pound fish.
That ain't going. Nah.
I know a 20-pounder when I see one. That ain't no damn 20-pounder.
Cheers to Mike and Kahuna. They went to Mile High.
Brought you back a koozie from Mile High. Does it feel like you can feel the fucking altitude on it?
There's no air within.
Yeah.
It's like it's elevated. You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
you drop it and it's just gonna hang there.
This isn't really a science podcast, so I don't want to get too deep with you guys. You know what I'm saying?
We get into reptiles pretty often, so don't you worry about
the
it.
C2O within the ozone and proximity to the.
We're more of
argon.
Yeah, we're more of like a biology podcast than a meteorology podcast. I don't know what you call altitude experts.
Yeah,
meteorologist would be my first guess.
Yeah.
That's a trivia question. Coming
speciologist.
Do your research.
Don't you spoil it now.
Do your research.
A metrics person.
Metrics? Yeah, that fits in the similar category.
Well, it's all within the ordinary.
It's all relative.
Yeah, it's all relative.
Einstein would say it's all relative.
We're all relatives.
All right.
Nah,
Einstein could have been my uncle. You know what I mean?
Relativity theory.
Theory of relativity.
Yeah, you can put it both ways. It works.
Relatively
unlikely. Science.
All right, let's get to the podcast.
Science.
It's a beautiful day, November 1st here. I'm sure it's as nice in St. Louis as it is in Kansas City.
Gorgeous.
It is the day of NFL trade deadline. So we're going to talk some trade. Yeah. First off, Jimmy, your Broncos ship Bradley Chubb to Miami. They do get back a decent haul. For Bradley Chubb, the Broncos are going to receive a first-round pick next year. That's probably going to be in the 20s. They get a third-rounder, a fourth-rounder, and Chase Edmonds. So I don't like giving up Bradley Chubb. They definitely got what he is worth. I just don't like giving up a really good pass rusher. We've seen it this year in big spots of games. He makes plays to help them win games. You know, he gets sacks when they're most important. So that's the part of it I don't like, Jimmy. Where, just give me your feelings on this, just from the heart.
Yeah, it sucked. I'm not too familiar with all that contract bullshit and all that shit, but once it was explained to me that he was going to be off the books at the end of the year and do some money. And so if we're going to, ultimately, what are we gonna? I mean, it sucks, but because we had our most fun for me win of the year, the first time we actually looked like a unit, cohesively, and it was like, damn, that's what it could be. And then he's gone. You know what I mean? So I felt bad for guys like Justin Simmons and Surtain that are like, man, what the fuck? Now, once the offense finally had a game, now we're cutting ties, dude. But at the same time, his name was thrown around a lot during the Russell Wilson trade. And there were talks that he could be moved then. And so the fact that we were able to get through that without getting rid of him and still get Russ and give up guys like Fant and shit. And then with this, get a a first or a third, a first, and a fifth.
You got a first, a third, and a
so
fourth.
what I'm showing
A
is
fourth.
Chase Edmonds, a first and a fourth for Chubb and a fifth.
So no third. You're not showing
No
a
third.
third.
Okay,
See,
but still.
But again, I bring it up only because I think
You
Javonte healthy next year. Melvin's on a 1-year deal. He's definitely not coming back. But Chase Edmonds is a backup, kind of third down back to Javonte.
Yeah.
I do like that mix. And when you think about Bradley Chubb got you a first rounder, Robert Quinn only got the Bears a fourth rounder.
That's age.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's age.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I also worry
But if you're
about
not going to
Chubb's-
re-sign Chubb, which
like-
I don't think they were, to look
Yeah,
what
they
they got
couldn't.
for him, because like Roquan Smith is in the same way. He's on that 5th-year deal. They're not going to re-sign him. The Ravens pick up Roquan Smith for a 2nd rounder and a 5th rounder. Even if they don't re-sign Roquan after the season, they still get a 3rd-round compensatory pick for him.
Not a lot of risk.
Not a
All
bad-
of a
They're
sudden,
risking-
that risk isn't so bad.
They're
It's
risking trading a second and a fifth for a third, and then you get Roquan for the season.
right.
So it's just
Well, and it's-
the
I
Ravens are
more
always
brought that
smart
all
with
up
this
just to
shit.
circle
They're
back
always
to
smart.
Chubb, though, that to get a first rounder out of anybody at the deadline is crazy.
Well, we didn't have one. Like we didn't have one last year. And
Right, but
I don't-
you look
I
at
don't
like
know if he has
McCaffrey didn't even net a first. McCaffrey got a second, a third, and a fourth.
If
You know,
Miami's
Claypool
doing this
got a
though, they
second.
plan to sign Chubb, right? You don't
Yeah.
give up this many
Definitely.
picks if you
You-
don't
yeah.
plan to sign him.
And
My
I
thing
think
was
they have the cap
with-
space for it
he's looked great this. Like, dude, when he's healthy, he looks
when
great.
healthy, right?
But that's the key, yeah. And it's like, man, if you can get a first for that guy, like I don't know. He
Right.
had really big plays. That's what sucks, man. And like,
He helps the Dolphins. There's no doubt about it. Like the Dolphins are
Oh,
getting,
damn right.
they're,
Oh,
Yeah.
they're
I mean,
giving up a good amount of fucking real estate,
he
but
was
they're
the
getting a good
pass rush
player.
get of the trade deadline. It was kind of
Yeah.
like everybody was hunting for him, pretty much.
Yeah.
All these other
Robert
guys.
Quinn is a 1-year guy. Yeah.
Right. Quinn's in 1 year.
Robert
you
Quinn's
know.
the easy guy to go after, but Chubb
Yeah.
is helping your team for this year and possibly years after.
yeah. Again, I worry about injuries with him because that's what a lot. I remember a lot of the time being like Von and him are never healthy, and then like he started getting hurt, and it was like fuck,
Right.
like they're never. And then
And he's a bigger guy too. He's
this
bigger
year
than
he's been
Bond,
healthy,
you know,
but it's like, I don't know. I felt bad for guys like Simmons, like I said, and Surtain. That like we have a really good defense, and it sucks that, like that. That's where we got to lose shit, but the compensation we got for it to get a 1st-round pick back, I don't know. Can't be mad about that.
Yeah. And like this year, how far are you going to go? I mean, just being realistic, like I'd be the
Let's
same way
ride.
with I don't know, man. I haven't I know you said the Jags win was like the best team win of the year so far.
It was.
Yeah.
I don't think trading Chubb holds his team back from making the playoffs, though. I think if Browning is healthy, who he's still on a
that
rookie
dude
deal.
comes off the edge just as well. man.
Randy Gregory gets back off the IR next week. So I can understand why they maybe made the move. Because
But
if
the
you look at the
goal
way
for
these,
that-
these
the
big
goal for
outside
Denver-
backers,
the
they
goal
don't
for-
age well.
Yeah.
You know, these DeMarcus Ware kind of size guys, because he's 280, he's 6'4", 280.
yeah.
As an outside linebacker, they age quick.
But a
That's the thing. He's
playoff.
such a big dude, man. That's where he gets banged up, I think. And yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, it sucked.
It's
He
a
asked
risky
for my,
move
you
by
know.
Denver, I think. But
Yeah,
to
but
get a
Brad,
first,
you mentioned it doesn't hurt their playoff chances, but that's not like what Denver has in mind. Like they want to be able to compete for a Super Bowl, and maybe they just see that we're not not enough is
I
going to
think they
change
don't-
for us to really be in that mix this year.
This year,
So
I think they saw
let's
that
try
their
to
window
build
is
into the
closed.
next couple years instead of
Exactly.
going for it this
Exactly.
year and holding on to Chubb.
That was the thinking, what I believe. Like
Yeah.
that is where they were at, because how else are you gonna you kept around the guys you aren't gonna have to pay next year, to keep around.
right?
And so I think they threw in the towel in this year. Glad they kept
Yeah.
my boy Judy though.
Because it's not like they're this young rebuilding team. They're a
Nope.
team that brought Russell Wilson in because they had it. They believe they had enough pieces there, and they're
Right.
trying to win in the next 1 to 3 years.
But I
And
still
so,
think, man, with the
they're
defense
not-
we have, I get I think
I think one playoff win is their absolute ceiling, and I wouldn't be surprised if they missed the playoffs.
I mean, but that was the blockbuster deal of the deadline. Yeah, I mean, Chubb to Miami, right? Because otherwise, we're talking. Not that Quinn isn't a game time, like a big.
That's my favorite
changer.
trade. That's my favorite trade of the trade deadline is the Eagles.
I'm a little impartial to Roquan, but
yeah.
Hawkinson is an interesting dimension in Minnesota. They
could help.
Could
be
end.
Not much. Yeah.
And I don't know. Neiman, my boy Neiman in Buffalo.
Yeah, I know. That's just
He'll make some
interesting
plays
addition for them. Oh, Harper, 2-run dinger.
There we go. Philly. We are watching the World Series here. I just saw it, man. It was a smash too. All right.
With Schwarber on base. He's had a hell of a
I'll drink to that, man.
Fuck yeah.
If you listen to this podcast and you're rooting for the Houston Astros,
fuck yourself.
Unsubscribe.
Yeah.
We don't want you. I don't want an Astros fan taking part in this.
Now. Don't go that crazy.
Dude, fuck them. I'll lose a couple.
It wouldn't be the first time.
About tall dudes, the only guy that I can think of that's the Astro fan.
And if they take offense to that, I'm sure they've heard it 100 times in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Harper,
being an Astros fan,
on a tangent,
your ethics are not high.
Hey, we're built on tangents.
Harper has done the LeBron route where he's trying to do it all now, man.
Was he still with the Nationals when they got theirs, though?
No, they traded him a year before. He missed it by a year.
Damn.
So yeah, but the thing is,
he's got to win one.
He's been in the
win multiple. I guess.
I know, but he still has in baseball, I don't know, man.
Personally, he's lived up to the hype.
In baseball, you don't have as much of a control.
5 guys, 3 guys that are the best guys in the whole league.
Well, and even he was hyped up at 14 as the best catcher since Yogi Berra, and he's
does he
Johnny
even play
Bench,
catcher?
whatever.
He doesn't still play catcher.
Never even tried to play catcher.
Okay.
He got moved to the outfield immediately.
All right.
But it's like you watch some of the shit, this kid in high school, man, and he's hitting balls at Tampa off the roof. But then he's also, you can watch his at bats in college or whatever it was, JUCO, and he's hitting off guys, and the shit you hear being said, because they all know who he is, man. He was 18.
Oh, he was a nut. He left high school at 14 and went to one of those academies.
That's what I'm saying. So you can hear all these guys yelling shit oh, come on, Hop. Fucking with him. And
they're 4 years older than him.
Fuck you.
Shut up.
They're going to Vanderbilt. He's worried about where he's getting drafted.
You're talking shit to me.
Dude, come on.
Smash.
But it's cool when you see a guy like that. LeBron, Kobe, just come out with. And he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated when we were 15.
You make ESPN and Sports Illustrated when you're in high school.
Being 17 and oh, what happened to Bryce Harper? You remember that kid? He was supposed to be a beast, and it's he
was always pretty good though. It's not like he was a disappointment.
No. But I'm saying after you heard of him when he was 15, 13, whatever, it was where'd this kid go once he didn't go to high school? He's a dumbass. And it's no.
He's really good at baseball, though.
No, he's in double A. He's in double A, beating the shit out of 25-year-olds. Yeah,
dude. Yeah, hitting dingers off of guys that are fucking double his age. So
I think he fits Philly well too. He just has that look about him. He seems like
as
he's
an
built
older
for
player
Philly
too. I think if he would have gone there as a young player, he would have been fucked. But he's old. He's been hit in the face multiple times.
The way he's
a
remember
tougher
him
guy.
coming in and people were so pissed that he would run everything out. He did the Pete Rose approach and would hustle
anybody who hates that, man. Screw you for hating on somebody.
I don't think it was that as much. It was the excessive diving in the outfield on balls that he was nowhere near. He'd be 6 feet from a ball and he would dive
and it would bounce over his head.
And it just
Dude, that one time he went face first.
That could be a problem.
Cage in the outfield, and fucked his nose up.
He's the only guy outside of Mike Matheny that I've seen get hit in the face stay in the game and just go to first. Be like, yeah, it's not that bad. I got a little
I'm
bruise,
good.
but
Yeah, it's fucked up, man.
So,
But yeah,
good.
dude, Harper, Dinger, 2-0 Stros. Let's fucking go.
he deserves
Or
this in
no.
his career.
Nothing
He deserves
Phillies.
this.
Why would I say that?
Yeah,
Fuck
yeah. Fuck the Stros was what you're thinking.
Yeah, good start for the Phillies. We'll keep
Yep.
everybody posted. But
Philly.
moving down the trade deadline list, a little bit of a less interesting one, but I still want to spend time discussing it. Chase Claypool to the Bears. The Bears give up a second round pick. Too much to give up for Claypool. I do like the Bears need him. It's just giving up too much, if you ask me.
I would agree because the Bears traded the second rounder they got from the Ravens for him. So that means the Ravens traded for Roquan Smith and the Bears kept a 5th round pick.
What the Bears must be thinking, though, is Claypool kind of fits their run game because he is a guy you can hand the ball to on a jet sweep and he can make something out of it. He is a good dude with the ball in his hand, as big as he is. He's still quick enough and powerful enough to, it ain't no Debo, but he can kind of do some of the same things where you can hand the ball to him behind the line of scrimmage and he can pick up 11, 15 yards a good amount of the time. So don't twist my words and say I said Chase Claypool is Debo Samuel, but that's what the Bears are going to use him as, is a little bit of a running guy and a little bit of a deep threat.
I guess from what we've seen so far.
You say a deep threat, Matt?
He can be a deep threat.
Okay,
He could.
cut out right there.
I'm sorry.
No,
but when Claypool's going to be had for a second rounder and the Chiefs got Tony for a 3rd and a 6th, what the fuck were the Bears thinking?
Claypool's a little bit more established.
What has he really proven, though? Because he's always been the third receiver.
I think he caught like 12 touchdowns his rookie year. Let's go. Let's check this.
We know how that goes because just like we know Dawson Knox had 10 last year, and I think he's got about 1 this year.
Yeah, but I mean, if a rookie receiver is good, how often do you see them just fall off? You know, like just
I guess I haven't seen it with Claypool ever. He was already a mid-second round pick.
I'm telling you, his rookie year, he was a beast. Before Roethlisberger completely went to shit, Claypool had a really good
Deontay Johnson was a beast that year, but I don't know if.
But
no, dude, Claypool for a while was kind of the dude.
So Claypool as a rookie had 62 for 873 and 9. Then
9
in 21,
touchdowns.
he had 59 receptions for 860 and 2. And then this year, he's just fallen off.
So he had a good rookie year. And then when Roethlisberger
he said 800
was shit,
plus receiving yards
as
2 years in the league.
That's not terrible, man. It's better than what the Bears got, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I just don't know. I feel like the Bears, it's like, dude, do you guys really believe? I mean,
well, especially when you do
England and
you're
you're
all
going to
pro
believe.
you're all pro linebacker for that. I mean, that's basically what they did. They picked up a 5th round pick and they basically traded Roquan Smith for Chase Claypool.
Gave away their best linebacker, yeah.
Yeah, who's leading the NFL in tackles right now.
Well, I mean, on that team, you're going to be leading on defensive. Yeah.
Well, you think they might be throwing the ball deep, but what about the Lions settling with Hawkinson? That was the head scratcher to me.
Well,
the Lions get a 2nd and a 3rd. The Vikings get Hawkinson and 2 4ths.
You think Campbell's even around to make those picks?
No. HCDC's gone.
Yeah.
He's probably ready to play tight end for him right now. He's ready to fucking suit up.
Right. He got rid of him so he could get a little.
Oh, yeah. He's going to pancake some motherfuckers.
Time.
Yeah.
I like TJ Hawkinson. I still don't know how much we're gonna see him make an impact in Minnesota. I'm sure he'll have at least one game from now till the end of the season where he has 90, 100 yards receiving and a touchdown or 2.
But how crazy in inside the division trade?
Yeah, and like a good player like that
with a first round pick.
It says the Lions are not scared of him.
I mean,
right?
That's got to be motivating in itself.
Hold up. I might get it's some fucking ad for me pulling up Chase Claypool stats. For fuck's sakes.
Quit looking at porn.
That's a fair assessment.
Yeah. Goddamn.
Yeah.
Pornos.
So they still get the Lions in Detroit in about 6 weeks.
Hawkinson revenge game.
Start
him in fantasy. Would you? If you don't have a tight end, do you try to pull a trade for Hawkinson? Does his fantasy value go up now that he's in Minnesota?
What have we ever
Jimmy needs a tight end. Jimmy, you need a tight end.
But what have we ever seen from Kirk Cousins? I agree with you. I think his ceiling goes down, or maybe his ceiling goes up. His floor.
They got way too many weapons there now, man.
Minnesota has more people to score touchdowns for him. Right.
Yeah, it's too. Yeah.
Well, we kind of talked about this between the pot, but all right. So what? Kyle Rudolph would have 1-2 fantasy relevant games a year.
Yeah.
What are we going to see from Hawkinson? They already have Madison and Cook. You got the 2 receivers. Osborne is in a bad third. It's not like Irv Smith was doing shit at tight end.
Counting on them getting the 2 white guys confused, between Hawkinson and.
Thielen just got hurt. Maybe they just needed another white dude for Cousins to throw the ball.
Maybe that's it.
Didn't think of that.
Yeah, that's true, man. You can never, use too many out there.
It is crazy to think.
I think you can't have too many white guys out there playing receiver.
Patriots made it work.
Way too many white people.
Yeah.
Patriots.
It was a top 10.
That's the exception.
People forget top 10 tight end.
OJ Howard. The Bucks did it with OJ Howard too, man. I think we drafted him 9th
Buffalo or
something. Yeah. He's in Houston now, actually. He had a 2-touchdown game from Davis Mills earlier.
He's playing
this year.
Split end now.
Hasn't done shit.
Rookie split in out of West Texas.
We got him pulling that right tight.
He put the laces through his chest on that, man, when he's watching that tape.
We could let's have this talk. Is it from what the recent history we just spoke of, it's not worth drafting a tight end in the first round. It didn't work with Hawkinson. It didn't work with OJ Howard. From what we've seen in Atlanta, it has not worked yet with Pitts. He hasn't been used enough to be the number 3rd or 4th overall pick in the draft.
You get a 3rd or 4th round guy. You have a really good tight end coach, and you coach him up into Mark Andrews. That's how you do it.
Yeah, you get your Mark Andrews, you get a Travis Kelce.
What was Kelce,
round.
A 3rd round?
I think he was a 2nd round.
Yeah.
Gronk, 2nd rounder, had injury history, but was a freak athlete.
There's just not a slam dunk tight end, really. I mean, I guess Aaron Hernandez was pretty good for a while.
Olsich just looked pretty fucking good, though. I'm not going to lie about that.
Yeah. He was
again,
really,
really good
guy. What was he, a 3rd or 4th rounder?
3rd rounder.
And he has, since he's been healthy, he's had solid games.
Yeah. I think 3rd rounder. I don't want to be quoted there, but I know
he was a day 2 pick. A day 2 pick. Yeah.
So
whatever.
If you're an NFL GM out there listening to our podcast, you just don't use a 1st round pick on a tight end under any circumstance.
No tight ends, no line, no inside,
no running backs either.
No running backs.
That's right. We're on our way to be GMs. It's gonna happen one day.
Let us run the Broncos. We'll bring them back.
Yeah.
They've been giving me, Hackett hit me up.
We're cutting Russ.
If you show me how all the financial shit works, I can figure this shit out. I promise you. Give me a 6-pack and put the financial booklet in front of me.
Yeah.
Show me the breakdowns at each position. I need to spend
for it.
X amount of percentage on each position.
The guy that parlays.
I can hire a dude to do that for me.
Within a year, we'll be managing the Battle Hawks. We'll bring them to start.
Yeah. They're going to catch this segment and be like, these are the guys.
Hey, you hear we're back?
These guys fucking get it. All right.
They just want good football players.
Yeah, they can go to the D2, D3 level.
Hey, and we'll be doing our own Battle Hawks podcast. To discuss
I did not commit to that.
Too.
I did not.
I know. Don't worry about it. 314's got it. Man.
That might be a 2-man show.
No.
Oh yeah.
You're in.
Yeah.
Battle Hawks. I'm not going to be watching the games.
Oh yes, you are.
You're going to be watching, man.
Yeah.
Tune in, man. I'm telling you. We're going to sell out the dome.
In fact, you're booked.
Brad, you mentioned it, but we didn't really get into it. Kadarius Toney gets traded to the Chiefs for a 3rd and a 6th.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of risk for the Chiefs and a chance of Toney coming onto the scene and making some splash plays. He's almost like having
Chiefs.
It's almost like having another Mecole Hardman, right? Isn't it close to that at worst?
But better. I mean,
if he's healthy,
he's had hamstring injuries for 2 years, pretty much the whole time. But at Florida, talent wise, he's
He's
so much
joystick,
more
dude.
skilled.
Yeah.
If he's healthy, he is their best receiver, hands down. I don't think it'll happen this year, but still, they have him on contract for another 3 years after this.
Yeah, because
That's
this
where I
is
think
just
it'll
his
show up.
second year in the league.
I think this is a long-term deal. This is not a deal for this year.
It's probably smart. He had a couple monster games last year when he was healthy. He lit the Cowboys up for like 190 yards, didn't he?
I mean, it sounds stupid, but because I'm not ever going to compare somebody to Tyreek, but he's built a little bit like Reek. It just
Super shifty.
Bulky, shifty. Yeah.
Yep. I got a couple of his rookie cards that I'm just hoping
I like
are
him
worth
a lot, but
anything.
I was crazy high on
because they're not
Roquan
worth
Smith,
anything
too.
now.
I mean, Roquan's one of my favorite players ever in the league, and for him to go the Ravens, I couldn't believe it. So even if it is for just this year.
Well, yeah, we didn't really dive into that one, but it's just super smart by the Ravens because, like you said, they are giving up a second and a fifth. But even if they just use Roquan Smith for the season, let him sign elsewhere in the offseason, they're going to get a compensatory third-round pick back. And so it's basically trading a second-round pick when you are at least getting a third-round pick in return, and you get them on a rental for the season. Now, if they choose to re-sign Roquan and maybe let the other linebacker, Patrick Queen, walk in the offseason, that's an option too. But it's just, this is why Baltimore is consistently good, because they're fucking smart. The people running their team are smart. You really can't argue with it. That's why they have been consistent.
I agree it's value, but also I think Baltimore undervalues positions that other teams don't value. Like they really should have gone for Robert Quinn or Kadarius Toney or Hawkinson, but instead they go to a position of strength. I don't know. It's just everybody deals different, but
didn't know about Kadarius Toney until about 4 minutes ago when you guys told me that. So that one, that's
cool. Did you like Toney until here in the news? Did you like Toney?
No, I didn't like him at all.
I've always hated him.
Had him on my fantasy. I actually did. I had him on my team a couple of years ago or last year, and
it had to have been last year for a few weeks. Then he got hurt.
He's a dickhead.
Yeah,
he doesn't know what he's doing. Perfect guy for Andy Reid. There you go.
Yeah,
get Pinkston and Thrash out there, you fucking douche. Watch how this blows up in their fucking
Todd
face.
Pinkston and James Thrash was a good combo, man.
Oh yeah, they caught everything.
Yeah, there's Todd Pinkston, James Thrash. Who else did they have? Freddie Mitchell. Freddie Mitchell was the other guy in the mix there, right?
That was a good receiving core.
Donovan McNabb made it work. Who was the tight end? Greg Lewis.
I'd rather have Claypool, Toney, Robbie Anderson, and fucking Hawkinson.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I like Freddie Mitchell.
They all drop passes. Every fucking time they would drop a pass.
They just can run block. That was all they could do. They were strong run blockers. They're like,
I don't know. James Thrash. You got to have a soft spot for James Thrash.
He was a wide receiver that wore rubber elbow pads. He was not looking to make that. Yeah. That guy was not looking to make big plays. He's making to make a first down catch, tuck it in the body.
The coolest player they had was Deuce Staley, man. That was the best guy.
Now Deuce is eaten.
What about that running back?
People haven't realized it yet because we thought at the time the Eagles were legit all those years. The Chiefs are going to be the same fucking way. In 10 years, we're going to look back and be like, God.
Mahomes is still going to be slinging it.
Yeah, that's fine, but they'll have all that talent. Then we look back and we're like, yo, why the fuck did they never win more than one? Now they at least got one. Let's go!
There we go.
Philly.
Alec, bum. Bam.
Ooh, rookie,
Bomb.
right?
Bomb. Yeah.
Yeah, the young kid, Alec Bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a foreigner.
Or he's like a third year.
Bomb hits bombs.
But yeah.
He hit a bomb.
Yep.
Bomb hits bombs.
Critiquing me online. Dude, let's fucking go.
My stream is way behind, but I know it's coming, so now I'm gonna watch.
Beers and bets.
Oh, first pitch, and he just slapped the fuck out of it over the fence. Jeez, he hit that one to fucking Maradio
head.
head.
Do and the chain. I'm thinking about getting one of those hair tie things and then a chain.
You know, I just don't think I'm a chain guy, man.
Yeah. I think I could rock it because of my arms.
If I got a chain, I'd have to get the Jeezy the Snowman chain with the
That'd be
little
pretty
diamond
dope.
snowman
Or
hanging
the
down.
Bart Simpson Gucci one
Dude,
would be pretty
I picture you with like a small choker just around your neck. I don't know. Why.
Yeah, like a headband, like the thing that looks like a headband, but you wear it around your neck. Never understood that. Yeah.
Or the little cross, even though you're
Yeah.
not religious.
Put on a black
that's always-
jacket.
yeah.
Yeah. By the way, you know what took me years to notice is
boy.
Derrick Henry runs with that nose ring, but it's got a cross in it. And
Yeah.
it does look badass. I just got to give it to him. For him to be running through people and then it gives the close up of him in the face mask and he's just got that fucking bull nose ring hanging there with the cross
If
on
I
it.
was a defender and I saw that on film, I'd be snatching for that thing every fucking.
I don't think he could get up in there though, dude. This guy's just
let me get these. Let me get the little.
Dude, you would try and it'd just be like the impossible fucking find. You'd never be able to get it. You just
It'd be
get
like finding that
fucking
pot of gold at
flattened.
the end of the rainbow. If you could
Yeah.
snatch that
and
thing.
you got the ring and you look back and
Yeah.
he's running 80 yards for a touchdown.
He's still trucking and you're just
Yeah.
holding it up.
I don't need my nose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a hunk of meat with it. Just
But did we miss any trades? Raheem Hines to the Bills. He'll help him a little bit. It's
Neiman.
not that important.
I thought the Jets made a good deal getting James Robinson for a sixth
I like
right
James
after they
Robinson.
lost Brees Hall. He was having a hell of a year.
Yeah. I mean, that one was.
You
that-
kind of saw smart trades early, and then shit got desperate late.
Yeah,
You know, like
I mean, we didn't
like
even
Robbie
mention the
Anderson.
McCaffrey trade.
Yeah,
That was a hell
but
of a
again,
trade.
that's for a 2, 3, 4, 5, you get top 5 running back in the league. Now you got to pay him.
Shanahan will make it work.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought that
Shanahan.
was. I mean, that was. Yeah, that dude had the game of the
Yeah.
year, man.
Yeah.
Let's
I think we
close
did
out.
talk about that last week. If I'm not,
That
wrong,
was a
on the
fun
last
week.
Podcast,
Yeah.
because like I think McCaffrey had just gone there. Maybe the last time we talked.
it would
Yeah.
have been his first week. So this was week 2 finally
Yeah.
that we just saw.
Because I think we joked about like fuck with him and Debo, you could pull some crazy shit.
I think it
And he
happened.
definitely did it.
It might have happened like the night that we recorded the podcast last week, and it just happened like after the fact we were already done, and then
Right
caught the
on,
news of
yeah.
it because I don't
Either
remember
way, I
talking
remember
about it.
Yeah, I remember talking about like fuck, they're gonna be able to do some
Because it was
crazy
early
shit.
on, really, in the grand scheme of things.
But let's finish off the last few minutes by talking NFC because there's not a lot of teams you could see going to the Super Bowl. I mean, your front runner right now in the NFC has to be the Eagles. Any argument there to make the Super Bowl? No, you have an
No.
argument?
I mean, I don't think there is an argument now. Like
You say there's not a lot of front runners, but I would say
I mean, I have the
Philly,
Niners
Dallas,
next.
Philly, Dallas, Minnesota, San Fran. Like,
I have Eagles, 49ers, Cowboys.
do you really feel that more confident about the AFC?
I feel more confident about Niners actually, probably than any other team.
The thing in the AFC, I mean, I have Chiefs, Bills, and then everybody else.
Bills, Chiefs.
So, and I feel like it's going to be one of Chiefs or Bills.
That's my point. I feel like it's very top. We thought both leagues were going to be crazy deep, and we've kind of seen there's
Well-
a few top dogs.
Yeah, you're asking me for other strong teams in the AFC that I actually feel good
Correct.
about.
Bengals collapse.
Like I'm
mean,
a
it's-
Ravens fan, and I'm not putting them anywhere close to the Chiefs Bills league.
They might be right behind the Chiefs and the Bills for me in the AFC, though. I mean, who else are we going to throw in there? We can't
But
put
that,
the
that
Bengals
tells
there.
you the clear step from 1A to 1B.
Broncos.
If you're talking
Broncos
about
are
putting
still
the
3
Ravens
and
in that
5,
discussion-
Jimmy. They're still
Oh,
3
we're
and
right
5.
there. We're
Yeah.
right in the hunt, man. Don't worry about it.
The Broncos will be there even if they're
Don't
3 and
worry
5.
about it. Don't worry about it, man.
Just because they won early Sunday morning in London, they're still 3 and 5.
Hey,
And they haven't
Don't
even lost
worry
to the
about it.
Chiefs yet this year once.
Are you
They're
haven't
going to lose
played
to
the
them
Chiefs.
twice.
Nah, I don't know. about
hardly
that.
on the web?
Trivia
Get
question.
out, get out, get out.
When's the last time the Broncos have beat the Chiefs?
The year Peyton Manning won the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
here.
like
So,
2012.
Yeah,
It was a
well,
long time ago.
Yeah, calm down.
But-
Just I'd be mad too.
Is that how they gauge success?
Little
in
by
Kansas
little,
City?
you're gonna have to get through this.
No, I'm just trying to let Jimmy know where his Broncos are at this year.
No, because
man.
I was listening to that Travis and Jason Kelsey podcast, and
Mhm.
Travis even said it. The biggest rivalry he faces is Denver every year.
That's environmental. That's not competition. It's a rival when you beat the smoke out of them 12,
I don't know.
14 games in a row.
When you got to play against Justin Simmons every game, he's talking just him, not the team.
Yeah, maybe that's his toughest matchup he's had lately is Simmons.
He's in. This was his career, but it's just I thought it was telling.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the best team, in the AFC for years. Just the way it is.
They
man.
both travel well. Both of those teams travel.
I would
well.
say that would be the Patriots. We're speaking.
And
anytime in the
played
last
us in
couple
the
of
AFC
decades.
Championship, we did beat them. We beat
What
them a
about
few
what
times.
about old Calvin Ridley being traded to the Jags?
I bet you $30
So
it
speaking
doesn't
of
happen.
next
You know
year-
what's ironic about that is he bet that the Jags would not cover the over against the Falcons, and that's the bet that got him fucking suspended. And now he got traded to the Jags.
Maybe he'll make sure they hit that over next time.
For a fifth and for
I'm
a
here to
fifth
mix
and a
that
fourth.
shit up, baby. Let's go.
Yeah,
4-0, Phils.
There we go, Philly,
there we
Philly,
go.
Philly.
That's what matters.
Under a minute.
Yeah. So we're
Cheers.
calling it now. The Phillies are going to be up 2
Go
games to 1 in
Phillies.
the World
Fuck the
Series.
Stros.
You guys good to record? I can't record on Thursday this week.
What about
We gotta
tomorrow?
end it
I
here.
could probably do tomorrow.
All right, we'll make it
Cheers.
work. Cheers. Fuck the Astros.
Hasta luego.